Today I've got two down-filled jackets that are designed to keep you warm while also being lightweight. Our premium offering is the Rab Mythic Alpine Light Down Jacket. It's described as weather protective rather than fully waterproof, and it comes in different fits for men and women, with 3 colour options for each.
The medium-sized one weighs 252 grams and has 80 grams of fill, which is a mixture of down and synthetic fibre, all for £230.
Our budget jacket, at just over a quarter of the price, is the Forkla Trekking Down Jacket MT100 from Decathlon. Like the Rab, it's not waterproof, built instead as water repellent, and it comes in at £59.99.
It weighs a little more than the Rab at 275 grams in medium size, with 81 grams of feather and down fill.
For our first test, I've headed to the Extreme Environments Laboratory at Portsmouth University, which can recreate almost any kind of weather. It's the perfect place to test the insulating performance of these jackets. And helping me put them through their paces is someone who knows a thing or two about cold climates. Rebecca Stephens MBE was the first British woman to climb Everest and scale the 7 summits, the highest mountains on each of the 7 continents.
I mean, you've spent a lot of your life in some very extreme environments. What sort of clothing did you use to protect you?
Well, I've been in the most extreme. High on Everest, I was wearing all down, a complete all-down suit, and I don't think you can beat that for warmth.
Down feathers are not only lightweight, but pound for pound the best natural insulators you can buy in jackets. Their fluffy structure means they trap lots of air pockets, which prevent heat escaping through the jacket.
On first impressions, what do you think of the jackets?
Well, I have to tell you, I'm going straight for the Decathlon ones. This is entirely subjective, but I prefer the colours, and also I prefer the touch to them. It feels a little bit more natural.
Right, I can't wait to test them.
To help us test our jackets accurately, we've enrolled Dr. Joe Costello, who's going to simulate wintry conditions inside the laboratory, with 2 fans to create a mild breeze.
This is a little bit sticky.
He's also equipping us with skin sensors to monitor the temperature inside our jackets. We'll walk on a treadmill for 30 minutes. And first up, it's the premium Rab jacket.
So, John, tell me, what do you think about your jacket?
It always feels so light, you hardly feel that you're wearing it.
I know, excuse the pun, but light as a feather.
Down feathers offer the best insulation, but they're expensive, so cheaper, regular feathers are often added to the filling to lower costs. The Rab comes with 90% down.
It's clearly doing the job, because I can feel, with these fans in front of us, I can feel quite a draft on my face, but nothing on my body or my arms.
I'd say strangely, for some reason, my experience is slightly different. Where I do feel cold, oddly, is around my tummy, which is surprising.
That is very strange, actually.
Yep.
Before we know it, the 30-minute stroll is over. Prior to switching jackets, I want to check out my troublesome tummy using a thermal imaging camera. It turns out it's down to 25 degrees, while the rest of me is 29.
That's where I was feeling the cold.
Isn't that interesting?
Will the budget Decathlon jacket do a better job of insulating my sensitive midriff? The temperature and wind strength are exactly as before, and we'll be doing the same gentle walk for half an hour.
OK, here we go again. And how's it feeling?
Feels slightly more constrained than the other. I mean, I think with the premium Rab, you hardly feel as though you're wearing it. This, you're more conscious you're wearing a jacket. I don't know why.
This is a tiny bit snug.
Yes.
The Decathlon jackets have 81 grams of insulation, 1 more than the premium Rab, but 5% less down.
If anything, I think I feel warmer in the Decathlon than the Rab.
Okay.
If I had a sensitive area against the tummy, but I think the Decathlon's doing a slightly better job where it covers. The only problem is it's very slightly shorter.
Yeah, I agree with you. The jackets are a bit shorter, but otherwise I feel pretty much the same as I did before, namely I can feel the draft on my face and I can't on my body.
As we approach the end of the test, I'm definitely feeling hotter.
I've forgotten my potentially cold tummy. I'm just worried about overheating. Seriously.
And I seem to be perfectly comfortable, actually. I'm certainly not overheating.
And with that, our second stroll of the day was done. Time to get back to the warmth of the control room to find out how the premium Rab and budget Decathlon jackets compare.
So in the premium session, you started at between 31 and 32 degrees Celsius. You both finished at 29 degrees Celsius.
There you go.
On average, that works out as a fall of 2.5 degrees over our 30-minute walk. In the budget Decathlon jackets, while our starting temperatures were a little higher, the overall drop on average was also 2.5 degrees.
So there's no significant difference in the jacket's performance in this test, really?
No.
Given that they performed very similarly and that the price difference is considerable, how are you feeling in terms of which is best value for money?
Well, that's actually quite simple, I think. I mean, if I was given enough money to buy the more expensive one, I would buy the cheaper one and keep the change. Yeah.
Earlier, we found, under laboratory conditions, there was little to separate a premium RAB jacket and a budget one at a quarter of the price from Decathlon.
We've seen that both jackets protect us pretty well when we're out walking for a gentle stroll in the country. But what about when things get more strenuous? What sort of qualities do the jackets need then?
Yes, well, I mean, I'm going to be looking for sort of movement, if you like, how I can stretch an arm.
Well, it's going to get pretty gripping because we're going to be climbing this.
We've moved across campus to Portsmouth University's climbing wall. While hauling yourself up a cliff face isn't for everyone, me included, it's a great way to stress test a jacket's flexibility, comfort and build quality.
After you, ladies first. Right.
Thank you very much, John. I appreciate that.
First up, we'll be testing out the premium RAB.
Well, I can tell you straight away, it really offers a lot of freedom of movement, which is wonderful, which is really what you're asking for above anything else.
Looks terrifying.
You're next, right?
Much as I'd love to scale the wall, I feel obliged to stay on the ground to conduct a thorough practicality test of my own on the RAB jacket.
We've got no internal pockets. We've got two on the outside. Very generous. Easily takes a phone. Same on the other side. Yes, there's a zip. Works very well. Ooh, smoothly. Up and down. Yes, excellent.
John, your turn now.
Yes, yes, maybe in a minute. I mean, the pockets are quite big.
Well, the premium jacket passes my rigorous pocket and zip test. But how did Rebecca find it on the cliff face?
Ah, well, that looks good. How was it?
The jacket felt fantastic. I mean, the most important and best thing I could say about it is that I kind of wasn't aware that I was wearing it. Really good quality jacket.
Excellent. Well, I can tell you the pockets were very good too.
I'm delighted to hear, John.
Great.
So the RAB is comfortable and practical whether you're rock climbing or doing something a bit less strenuous. Now it's the turn of the budget Decathlon jacket.
So are you going to go first this time, John?
Well, I'm tempted, obviously, but for consistency and to give a sort of fair test, I ought to stick to pockets and zips.
It is a slightly different fit on me. The arms aren't quite as long.
Yeah.
I'm still getting goodish movement. That's OK. I can stretch right up like that, as you can see.
You're not feeling unduly constrained in any way?
It is a little bit more constrained,
Yeah.
which for somebody with long arms like me, I would prefer the longer sleeves.
Right.
So the budget jacket has a more snug and less flexible fit. But how do its pockets and zips compare?
Pockets, slightly angled opening, but still very commodious. If anything, slightly deeper, but slightly narrower at the top. Nothing on the inside. Like the RAB, the zip's got those little tags on. The zip itself isn't quite so fine or silky smooth.
The test is over. Time to come down off the wall and see how the Decathlon compares to the RAB.
Well, I think it was great. The only issue I would have is I'd like another couple of inches on the length.
Yes.
Because when you're stretching up, you've got a harness on, I was conscious that it's riding up.
Yes, so we both found that a little bit of extra length would have been useful with the Decathlon.
Yeah. But otherwise, the movement was fine.
Yes, and I mean, the pockets are very roomy as well.
I'm delighted to hear it, John.
Thank you.
So the budget jacket literally came up short for fit and flexibility. But after a day's testing in the lab and on the wall, it's time to decide a winner.
So now to the crucial question, which jacket offers best value for money?
If we're talking just value for money, and we're talking about trekking, having something in your rucksack, going for a walk in the English countryside, then I think this budget decathlon absolutely wins hands down.
Overall, for most people, most of the time.
For most people, most of the time, and for me, most of the time, then I would go for the budget decathlon.
Well, thank you for a most enjoyable day and for doing all the climbing.
It's been a lot of fun, thank you.